Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm on the wrong side. So in this video, I've got John here from Jon Miniatures. He's going to show us an in-depth look at his amazing bespoke modular Warhammer Underworlds board. So if you may have seen John on the channel before, as I said, he's from Jon Miniatures. John, do you want to just give us a little précis of what Jon Miniatures is?
Yeah, so I started writing a blog, I don't know how many years ago now.
70 years and 10.
I know. It was kind of just at the end of lockdown. It was something kind of to fill the time as such. And at the time, very few people had a look. That was quite the way you do, you know.
You started
you write something and then...
I mainly remember you starting with Aeronautica.
Yeah, well, I actually started with some painting guides and they actually were just reminders for me. I thought I'll write them up and then, I might as well put them on the internet so that I remember and then other people can look and all the rest of it. And so I did that for a bit and then started writing about Aeronautica and that took off.
Aha.
When Ember Guide came out, I really wanted to try and get the blog to work a bit better and write more and more about Underworlds. So I started doing that, and still very few people read those. But lots of people keep coming back for the painting stuff, which is really quite nice.
Yeah, if you have seen Jon's painting, it is excellent. And if you're looking for guides on how to do, I would say, kind of GW style box art, is fair, isn't it? You're quite traditional in your painting, but they are...
Try and do the classic stuff.
Yes.
And it is straightforward. It's base coats and then washes and then... some highlights.
So check it out.
Yeah, it works quite
well.
well.
He's our very own Duncan Rhodes.
I don't know about that. It seems
but do check out Jon Miniatures if you haven't already.
And you can find a little beaky on there as well.
You can buy t-shirts and stuff now too. How long have you been in the hobby itself?
So I started back... I got Hero Quest for Christmas in 1990.
Wow, okay.
In the box there was a little rule book, and at the back of the rule book it said Games Workshop and you can find your local store, and I went and they said there was one in Sheffield. So back in 1990, sort of Christmas, January time of 1990 or 1991, I went down. Actually, it would have been about 1991, and I went in and it was the sale, you know, when Games Workshop used to have blister sales.
Oh, yeah.
The first miniatures I really got were dwarves, and then very quickly I bought the Skeleton Army box set, which was a great box set. You got a load of horses and a load of plastic, and you got a little chariot and all the rest of it. Basically, it was an army in a box, but very cheap. And that was the first time, and I started with Undead, and then all the way through the 90s, basically until now, I've had an undead army of some descript. So I've had skeletons originally, and then eventually it became 4th edition, and there was a book, and Nagash turned up, and I had an undead army, and then the vampire counts arrived, and I did those, and I played Necroc, and then after that I played Strigoi and used the ghouls, and some of my ghoul army, and it carried on going. And then we get all the way through to AOS, and I have Nighthawns.
There's a lot of Nighthawns.
I have a lot of Nighthawns.
Ghosts in one place. The board, then, okay, well, we could talk 2 hours about your GW history, but let's focus on the board. So it's as I said, I don't know if you can say it is modular. It's modular. So all of these little hexes are free and movable. So when did you conceive the idea of doing this? How long have you had the idea?
So I've seen a couple of people with boards at tournaments.
Okay, yeah.
But they've one was back in the last edition. It was basically a board, and it was a fella playing Khorne, but he had orcs converted as Khorne, and he had like a little Khorne battlefield. And I thought that looks cool. I've always wanted to do something like that, and kind of that went in my head and became a little brainworm. And it sat there for a little bit. Ember Guide rolled around, and as I said, I wanted to try and do something for my blog, which was a bit more. And just recently I finished painting all of the warbands.
Impressive
so
feat.
I've kind of been, I've had that completed for a few months.
Of course, some holidays because you're a teacher, so you've had...
Yeah, so I started this idea of building a board, and I used to love fully terrained up Warhammer Fantasy Battle board. Mm-hmm. And I've been doing all these little painting guides for terrain on my blog, like stonework and moss and dead wood and marble and blah, blah. So I've kind of been aggregating it all together, and I really enjoy painting terrain far more than actually painting miniatures, strangely as it sounds.
I remember you doing your Warcry terrain and it being significantly better than mine.
Yeah, I got loads of it. I've got tons of it, and I've never used any of it. So I started doing that, but I wanted a board that was, I could change, I could create a new board which wasn't matching. The problem I found the 2 Ember Guide boards boring now.
Right, yeah.
Because it's like the same thing. There's no different setup.
New one on the way, of course, with Spirewood.
Yeah, I thought I'd make these, which are double blocked hexes, so if I want to play a different board,
I can
just make my own board.
Freeform, yeah.
Yeah, so that was the idea, really.
The eagle eye amongst you will notice that these hexes are bigger
Yeah, so we're using the old
Emberguard box. So these are based off the old template, as you can see. We've got.
Yeah, but the reason for that was so that someone like Sephonir, who's got a bigger base, I can still stand Sephonir on a base which has got
because if you start putting terrain on it.
Yeah, then, because it's got like this log on the edge.
Yep.
Here, then as soon as I put Sephonir on there,
she still fits.
She still fits, yeah. So the bigger hexes are on purpose to make sure there's room to put stuff on the edges.
You talked about your love of undead. I assume that's why you've gone for the undead graveyard.
Yeah, for the graveyard to start with.
So again, the eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that it's got little gravestones on here, and these, I believe, are to denote starting hexes.
They are to denote starting hexes. And these ones are from like the original plastic skeletons back from the 90s.
Wow, okay.
And these ones are from more recent kits like the Nighthaunts.
And I notice here, you might not be able to see this when you're looking. I notice you've got a little orange dot and a little green dot under here. Does that mean anything?
Well, this one's quite an interesting one here.
Oh, that's got an orange dot, a green dot, and it's like a traffic light.
Yeah. So this is the Emberguard. The red one's the Emberguard board without any blocked hexes. The orange one is the Emberguard one with blocked hexes, and this is the Spitewood board.
Oh wow! Okay.
That they've shown us in full. So I've already positioned all of the.
So they're the starting hexes for those boards. Is that right?
They're the starting hexes for those boards.
Wow, okay.
And
it's almost like you put some thought into this.
Blocked hexes are there in
got a little square in a block.
Yeah.
If it had been me, I'd just started doing it and then realised that I.
And over here we have a stagger hex, which is a
triangle, and it's got his own bespoke little stagger hex there. Which I believe you were saying that the symbols came out of the old Lost and the Damned.
Yeah, Lost and the Damned.
Realms
so
of
that's
Chaos book back from
1990,
a previous era.
Yeah, 1990. So this connects all the way back from many, many decades.
And so are they MDF little tiles, or are they?
Yeah, they're just little
MDF hexes
tiles,
you can presumably picked up on a hobby site or something.
Amazon,
wherever it comes from. Yeah. You've textured them with
sand and PVA,
and then you put a flock on or something.
Yeah, but the sand and PVA followed by more PVA, more sand. So it's quite heavy duty.
Yeah, you can feel the thickness. Like painted grey, presumably.
Yeah,
and then a bit of static grass.
So originally I painted them using some paints I got from like the Works or something. So it was cheap paint.
Yeah.
But then as I've started doing more hexes, I found the colours not quite right. So the newer hexes are slightly different colours, which is a bit annoying. But
it's a bad thing though necessarily, because it gives
you do get a bit of variety.
Texture.
Yeah.
Especially now you've added the grass as well, because that breaks things up. I noticed that you've got quite an ingenious little fix for the being able to turn over stagger hexes.
Yeah,
for a start, we've had to use some original objectives, but then there's another little hex under there. I'm not going to.
Oh, sorry.
I can't pick it up. Yes, just a plain one under there, so that you can. This doesn't sit.
Yeah, otherwise you can't flip it.
You can't flip it, but then you can delve it. Which is very nice.
So just put it on top.
Nice touch.
That was nice and easy. Oh, look, there's a cross.
It's a cross. What's the cross mean?
It's the waystones for the new edition.
Ah, clever, eh?
Look at this, it's already future-proofed.
Yeah. So again, I don't know how well this will come out, but this has all got a frame around, and this is fixed.
Yeah.
So the board fits in there nicely done. You've got some coffins and things here from
so they're
previous
from,
kits that you've had.
Oh, this is from the Warcry terrain pieces.
Yeah.
So they're scatter pieces from the Warcry sets.
And I noticed you've got edging of slate around a reasonable chunk of the board.
Yeah, I was going to do a bit more, kind of run out of slate though.
Okay, you run out of slate.
I've got to get a bit more from somewhere.
Got to go back to Wales or wherever you got it from.
Yeah, I'll wait for somebody's house to fall apart.
Okay.
I wanted the idea that it was almost an edge.
Yep.
Clearly because it's edge hexes.
Edge hexes.
And the idea that it was going to disappear off into the rocks, which would make it harder for people to escape, which is why it becomes an arena as such.
Okay, cool.
And then painted it all black because I kind of felt like it was like the pool of light, just looking at the bit where everything was, and everything else around it didn't matter as such. And
it does look
that was the idea.
Absolutely tremendous when it's got the fire speed. You played a game with the Sepulchral Guard. Now, most of this scenery is GW made or from stuff you already own, but I do know. Like a leading question here, but I do know the tree isn't. So where did you get the tree from?
Wire. I'm just going to go with wire. So yeah, the tree is just built. I wanted a tree, but in my head I had this idea that the graveyard was very much built around the Headsman's Curse.
Right. Okay.
And they were just going to haunt it, and I wanted a hangman's tree effectively. And then it was like, well, I need to get a tree miniature, and you can't get them for love nor money.
No. Not
like that.
No.
Then it was like, well, I could try and use a model railway armature, and it was like, I've got to buy a bag of those, and it's 20 quid, and they're not that big, and I'm not sure I really want them. So then it was like, okay, I'll make one. So I got a load of wire, and I basically twisted a tree together using wire.
So is it just like several bits of wire wound
Yeah,
together?
I think I did 32 strands of wire.
Okay.
I think I did 16, half them,
Right.
twisted them together, and then I can go into 8s and then into 4s, which is why you end up with it branching out the way it is.
It thinks about stuff.
That's quite good.
Yeah, it is really good. And then it's textured with
Polyfiller. And all I did for the polyfiller, so once it's twisted it together, was just to get the polyfiller and use my fingers to kind of just smear it on.
And give it this really nice
just smear it on.
effect. And how did you do the moss down here? That's really cool.
So the moss is on quite a few bits. There's a little guide on on the blog site, but basically it's a PVA mix with flock, with paint added. Then it's applied, allowed to dry, and then various ink washes, dry brushes, and then glazes to kind of texture it and bring out the sort of vibrancy of it all.
Cool. It does.
I've got it over here as well on the.
It does look really vibrant. Looks really nice. So I jumped ahead then. Well, what were you going to say about the tree?
I was just saying with the polyfiller, it's 2 layers of polyfiller, but the first one, you kind of layer it over, but you try not to obscure the wire the first time. Okay. So it just kind of sinks in between the wire, but you can still see the wire on the surface, so it's not too thick. And then you give it a second coat, but I just use your fingers to mush it in.
I really like the little skeletons. They were from the Warcry box, you said?
Yeah, they're from this bit. Scenery? You had this bit lying around.
Oh, actually. I do.
So the bell tower. You got the little guys in the cages.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't want to use them when I built my bell tower, so they've been sat in a box along with this random chain, which I found at some point. They're not permanently hooked on.
They swing.
They do swing, but equally they come off. So I'm now going to be able to.
That's his earrings.
Yeah, I can put other little things on there. So I've got some bells left over from the feculent normal.
Nice.
So if I want to play the gardeners, I can decorate the tree.
That's cool. That's a surprise. I didn't know that was coming.
Yeah, so I can add different things to the tree depending on the armies I'm using. So again, the same with the statue. The statue fits really well with the graveyard, but I can then swap it out for other things.
So how long did it take you to build the tree?
The tree?
Yeah, that feels like it was the most labour.
The tree was about the
single piece.
I twisted the armature and then coated it in the polyfiller. That was a whole day.
Right.
And much injury on the fingers. The wire is 0.9 mil, just from the local hardware store.
And then the project as a whole, how long has it taken you to get it to this state? A month. Of like working on it most days, or
so there's a lot of drying time in between. And it's an amazing number of hexes. When you actually start to realise it's like, I think it's 81, they just drive you insane. Gluing them down, letting them dry, adding sand, layering them with another set of glue, letting that dry, more sand, letting it dry, painting it.
So it's a proper labour of love.
Yeah, really. It's quite a mission to actually get it all done.
And then when your opponent wants to flip the board, what do you do then?
Well, they can wait while I rearrange it. Fine, you want the other side here? That's your problem then.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. You don't have another, like the upside down in Stranger Things with the tree.
Not quite yet. Yeah, not quite yet. But one of the things I am looking forward to doing for the new board, with the new board, I've got a few more bits and bobs to do, but one of the spikewood boards has a stagger hex right in the middle, and I wanted something different other than the Shaish and gravestone.
So you built a pond.
A pond, and the idea is the fighters will have to try and run through a little pond, which will obviously stagger them on the way through.
I like it. And if you're an athletics fan, you could put a little steeplechase hurdle for them to run.
Well, there you go. I've got one of those.
It's really nice. You've got the kind of bank.
Yeah, it's slightly done. And then I know it's quite rounded, but when I was looking at the spikewood board, it seems quite ordered, like the elves had put the waystones around a central point. So the waystones are going to be positioned quite equally around it. It makes it feel like there's something ordered about it. So I kind of like the idea there's a ceremonial pond in the middle. So you're already thinking ahead to Spikewood, which we know. Yeah. Have you got any other plans or want to change anything up that doesn't quite work? I mean, in the game we played, Pete said he found it hard to recognise the no man's land. Right, yes. Yeah, so I can see that, yeah. One thing I want to do when it's the 9 hexes across the middle, I'm going to make a little stream. Nice. Which will just be a simple watery stream running through the middle, but then it'll denote where the centre margin is. It's also, because this is graveyard at the moment, we're going to go into the spikewood. I'm going to remove the gravestones and make some more starting hexes, but this time I want to use heather plants. So they'll be like little tufts of purple plant. And then you'll have these coloured spots on the board. That'll make it easier to see. Yeah. So I'm just moving through different sort of natural features as such.
Yeah, because I haven't played on it before, but I can see now if I'm playing, and there's, especially if you've got the tree or whatever, these are a little bit harder to see.
Yeah.
So
they were a bit easier to see when I had less grass on the board.
Right, yeah, it's a trade-off, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I really like them, but they look, especially when you had the Sparkle Guard on them, they looked amazing.
The one thing is, we could turn them that way, and then all of a sudden they're a bit easier to see because obviously...
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's an interesting point, actually.
So for the camera, we had them that way to make them a bit easier to see, but now if you turn them that way, then...
Actually, yeah, that makes a
huge difference,
much easier,
I think. Yeah.
You've got this undead stuff here. Have you thought about going around the sides at all? Because we often talk about when we'd like to bring terrain, and obviously we film from over there. That'd be quite cool to have a backdrop.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things I've got. The rest of the... I've got a whole mausoleum, but then I've got another half a set, which includes all the walls and the statue, but not the crypt. So the half a set means I've got a load of walls left over. So I'm thinking about making the gate and the rest of the walls to fit along the back here. So effectively the graveyard has then got a back wall to it. For the spikewood, I've been trying a bit of polystyrene carving with a hot wire.
I did that years ago.
Yeah.
I was terrible at it.
So back to that 1990s, how are you going to build your own terrain sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I've got some idea of building like almost a cliff face, really kind of making it so like one warband has gone in looking for treasure and then it's got cornered by the other one. And
when people can build scenery, I'm always amazed. And it really adds something to the game. It was really great. I was sitting over there watching you guys play, and it really does add something.
There's something about the world building as well in the game that I don't know if people have lost that a bit.
Well, I think Underworlds, obviously, you don't need it.
No.
So then you start to forget it. And I have to say, it's one of the things I like about Underworlds is that you can literally just slap the board down and get going. You haven't got to worry about the scenery. It doesn't matter where the scenery is placed, because that always used to drive me crazy. When I used to set up for us to play games, 40k or whatever, I'm like, is the terrain fair? I don't know whether it's fair.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't got that problem. But as a visual aesthetic, it's just lovely.
I don't think it's a tournament thing.
I think it would do my head in playing on this for 5 games.
I think also, I think it's unfair on the opponent.
Right, yeah, I can see that.
Is my actual feel, having played it. One of the things I found is I like it, but I'm not convinced everybody I've played against does.
I could see if you try to focus on your game and you really want to win, then it might.
Yeah.
But if you're just playing casually.
But if you're playing casually and it's about enjoying the whole hobby, it's that world building exercise, which is... I was thinking about it on the car coming here. I don't play Minecraft because when I was a kid we didn't have computers, but I played model games where I built a world.
Right, okay, yeah.
And so I was actually playing Minecraft in my own way in the past.
Yeah. Well, that's effectively Minecraft was born out of people wanting to do that sort of thing, wasn't it? And I always look at my kids playing Minecraft thinking, I wish I had that when I was a child.
I'm the same. And I was actually thinking, well, what have I done here? I built a bunch of blocks and I put them together in the order that I like. And
I mean, actually, you could, actually blocks. So if you wanted to expand, not expand it, but if you're going to carry it on, so you're going to do extra scenery, you're going to do any different colour tiles or?
Yeah, I've got a gloom spike board I'm building already.
Oh, with mushrooms?
Yep. I've got a gloom spike board I've already started and I've designed 2 other ones.
Okay.
I started working on 2 other ones as well.
One's back to tell us what they are.
One's back to the Death Scourge.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Obviously, I've got Sirenes, so it's time to go back to the icy world. And I'm thinking of a Chaos one.
Oh.
I've always loved the realms of Chaos.
Yeah.
Hence even the symbols. So I've got an idea for a realms of Chaos board. But this one also, I've got ideas of transforming it into more of a Nurgle swamp.
Nice.
So
fit with these quite nicely as well.
Yeah. This is how I did so on my Nurgle models. I've got a big Nurgle army. I did all the bases as swamp bases. So then that just translates into
So the water effect on here, is it glue or is it special water effect paint or?
No, normally it's varnish.
Right.
Just hard coat.
Yeah.
This is Ron Seal wood varnish. Clear wood varnish.
Brilliant.
Because
I've got some water effect stuff, which is quite nice. But this looks.
Well, I'm wanting to build the Death Gorge board, so I need some ice. So I've been practicing building the ice, and I also need it to be tough enough that you can place models and it doesn't scratch. And I'm not convinced hard coat's going to be tough enough.
I see.
Whereas I think wood varnish, which can take a bit of punishment, is perfectly okay for dealing with plastic models.
So this board will do exactly what it says on the tin. Hopefully this video has been a comprehensive guide to how John put his board together and the inspiration behind it. I do think it's amazing. I'm really excited for some of the other things you do. Hopefully you'll bring those along.
Yeah. I think a couple of things. I'll probably take it along to any tournaments.
Oh, yeah? Ooh.
Whether I play on it or not, it might just be sitting there for people to have a look at. You can pop along and have a look at. I've done a little blog article on it.
So do check out the blog. It's jongrantminiatures.co.uk, but there's a link in the description below. And I guess you'll put progress on the new boards on there.
Yeah, so at the moment there's an article on Shaishan Graveyard, which is this one. I keep adding little bits as I make more. There'll probably be a Spikewood version.
Cool.
At some point in the future.
If you have got any comments, do feel free to comment on the video below, and I will feed them back to John if it's relevant to do so.
Equally, if you want to ask me directly.
Exactly. But give us the clicks rather than him. That's
no.
Only joking. Comment in both places.
Nobody talks to me on my blog. It's so sad.
Go on to the blog and talk to John on there. If you've enjoyed this, do like and subscribe so you can see when John comes back. Don't forget, we have done a video of a game where Pete played against John on this board, and you can check that out as well. There's a link in the description below for that as well. So cheers, John, and we'll see you soon on the Agents of Sigmar.
Yeah, or tournament soon.
Bye.